You know what would have helped if Jean had asked this couple, had you ever gone up in the attic before Adam and Elise moved in to see the condition of the attic? Now, more than likely, before they moved in, they're admitting that the door was there and the rod was there and the area above to lift may have been intact, but nobody's ever. I wish they would have asked, what did the area upstairs look like before they moved in?
Zahra's case started out, of course, as an Amber Alert. It's now being handled as a homicide.
What happened to 10-year-old Zahra Baker?
They have drained a pond and searched a 60-acre tract of land, but they found no sign of her.
They added additional cadaver dogs to help with that wider search.
The allegations that her home life may have been unhappy.
Stepmom made Zahra's life a living hell.
Neighbors say that this is the hill Zahra Baker would be forced to walk up on her prosthetic leg, while her stepmother, Elisa Baker, would taunt her.
She would slap her. She would pull her hair. She would cuss at her.
It's evil. It's just downright evil.
It's made us angry. We're hurt. I just don't know our parents, how they could hurt a little girl.
Investigators suspect Zahra is dead.
I hope they find her alive. But just for peace, I hope they find her.
Police do believe that Zahra is dead, but they do not have her body, and no one is charged with her murder.
And brand new cadaver dogs were at the home today, the Baker home, in mass. Investigators there taking out bags of evidence and a mattress. Meanwhile, at another apartment that the couple lived at with Zahra, it is believed about a year ago, allegations now from the management of that apartment that little Zahra may have been kept to sleep and stay in the attic. We have a render's drawing of that attic. You may think about an attic and think that it is something you could stand up in and live in. Well, we're going to show everybody that attic is approximately 4 to 4.5 feet tall. At its highest point, Zahra was 5 feet 1 inches tall. She wouldn't have been able to stand up in that location. I want to go to attorney John Manuelian out of Los Angeles. We see that they're building a case here, and that can mean in the future an immense amount of charges, not only for allegedly murder, but child abuse. That is a very real possibility in this case, along with major crimes of murder. Right, John?
Right, but I mean, when you're going to charge somebody, you're going to charge them with the highest possible crime. In this case, it would be murder. It's not likely that the prosecution is going to charge murder and child abuse. They're going to go for the big case, which is the homicide case, and based on the facts in this case, that would be the prudent way to go about it.
But don't you want a felony murder allegation also, not only a murder one?
Yeah, but we don't know at this point whether or not child abuse under the North Carolina statute would be constituted as a misdemeanor or a felony. If it's a felony, then yes, it would be felony murder 1.
What would your defense be here at this point? There's just so much going against this couple.
You know, this person, Elisa Baker, has done some crazy things, specifically doing this fake ransom note. She's done some weird things in the past, so I would say that we would have her mental capacity checked by psychiatrists. There might be some psychological defenses, and that's really all the defenses she has at this point as far as I could see.
To Brian Russell, forensic psychologist, why would somebody keep a child in the attic? Or could Zahra have wanted to live in the attic to get away from the abuse that everyone is saying she achieved at the hands of her stepmother?
Couldn't get up in the attic.
Well, Gene, that's an interesting theory. I think if she did live up in the attic, I think it was probably against her will. I think that would be highly unusual, even for an abused child to want to be isolated to that degree in that little space that you just showed the viewers at home. I think that this woman, the picture that we're getting from the eyewitnesses of this woman is beyond someone who was ill-equipped to parent and even into the realm of the sadistic. And so when you ask how or why somebody is that way, you're getting almost to the limits of what psychology can explain about why somebody would want to inflict pain and harm on another person. And I think the lesson ultimately is the same that it is in the Kywin Horman case, which is that if you're a single parent and you're going to bring someone else into your child's life, you can't know enough about that person. You can't do enough due diligence. And the thing that needs to be the determining factor is not what that person will do for you, the parent. It's what effect is that person going to have on your child.
And little Zahra Baker, she was not only deaf, and she not only had bone cancer, but she had a prosthetic leg. She had lost part of her leg. Her hearing aids were left behind at the house. So whatever happened to her, she couldn't hear it. She could only see it as it was happening. To Robin in Massachusetts. Hi, Robin.
Yes, hi, Jean. My question is for Shirley Mims. I would like to know, please, when these violent arguments and this sort of thing took place, and apparently Shirley said that things were moving on her walls, it was so bad, were there any indications that the child could have been involved, crying or screaming or that sort of thing?
And that's my question. Shirley Mims, when these violent arguments took place, what did you actually hear? Whose voices did you hear?
I just heard the parents' voices. I never did hear a child's voice at all.
But if, you know, since she was deaf, she was able to speak, but not speak loudly, and it was a speaking that you may have not been able to hear along those walls.
That's true. It's possible I didn't hear her.
All right, and now to tonight's CNN Heroes.
And you did nothing.
Hello. Last year I had the honor of...
Now, I'm not sure what that doctor just said, but he said something about bringing somebody into your family that you do not know. Now, you know, when people get married, you know, you think you know the person you're marrying. You know, say your biological parents have children, and you think that you know that other parent, but you really don't. So I was very confused by him saying if you bring somebody else into your life, you don't really know. You don't really know the person you're married to either. They could flip out.